Ah, the messenger. I wasn't expecting you so soon. Wait, who the hell are... You're not the messenger! Well, hello everyone, and today we are going to be talking about, well, I think it's a little obvious, but we are talking about the messenger this month for Homebrew. We are also going to be talking about Sea of Stars, made by the same studio, which is Sabotage. Just to reveal the mask a bit, as it were, Sabotage has some of my favorite games. And by some of, I mean they only have 2 games as of recording this, with a third on the way. And I have loved both. I am in the middle of a playthrough of Sea of Stars, and The Messenger is my favorite or second favorite game of all time. They are both very well put together, and that just makes me happy to see that. I'm a bit of a fan of video games if it wasn't obvious, and I also am trying to make a video game for those who don't know about that. I am currently learning in Unity and Godot for that. So it just makes me happy to be able to cover this. This is one of the longest ones I've planned for, because I've had this planned since last year. That is not a joke. This was one of the first ones we've had an idea for, and I haven't been able to do it because I've just been busy. And I am going to be a little busy this month, so if this is the only video that releases, that's fine. The D&D Immersive will either be the one that comes out after this video, or it's in the works. Don't worry about it. I have literally all the footage. I just need to record a voiceover and edit it, really. Should be fine. So, this is going to be talking more about gameplay rather than lore. Mostly because I don't want to spoil Sea of Stars for myself. And I already know the Messenger, but the Messenger has very odd lore, and all I can find of it is on fandom wikis. And I don't know if they're official or not, to be completely honest. And I would ask, but like, I am in their Discord, but I don't want to be like, hey, what's the entire story for the game? Because that defeats the purpose of research. So, first off, this entire subclass is based around the time portals you find throughout the second half of the Messenger. As the first half is mostly a Ninja Gaiden-like game, and the second half is a Metroidvania, my favorite genre. If you can't tell, I do enjoy Metroidvanias. As well as is a very specific character from Sea of Stars, Sirai, who spoiler alert, just don't, this entire video is going to be spoilers for everyone, but like, don't play, if you don't care about the lore, not the lore, but like certain events for Sea of Stars or the Messenger, continue, but we are going to be talking about Messenger stuff that isn't in the trailer and isn't in Sea of Stars' trailers. Ready? Okay. So Sirai is a member of your party that joins after you go to the Dead Island. And oh god, I love them. They are seen throughout the starting of the game, and you meet them properly a little later. And you do acquire your boat. The boat that you travel on is theirs. And yeah, they're also the pirate captain. But yeah. So yeah, we want to talk about Sirai because Sirai does portal shenanigans. So I see 2 different portals in 2 different games that could do something very similar. And we also have something in D&D already that deals with portals, the Horizen Walker. Perfect! So this is going to be mostly a timey-wimey bullshit kind of class. Originally, this subclass was going to be an addition swapper, and I do still have remnants of that, where half of the abilities are from 4th edition and just turn into 5e by me personally, because I think they would be fun. Oh god, I think the last ability is like the most broken for half of it, and the other half, I think the second to last ability is probably the most broken, but it'll be fine. So yeah, the original idea came from, well, the fact that in the messenger, or the entire game is quoted to be a time loop by the shopkeeper, who has explained that the Blue Robe Order is just a bunch of time travelers, basically. And originally this was going to be just a timey-wimey class, and I thought, nah, we'll just have it be like you swap from 5th edition to 4th to like 3.5, then I said 4th edition, and then I eventually landed on this one that we have here. And I don't know Seirai's lore too much. I don't know why Seirai can use portals, and I do intend on figuring that out once I beat the game, but like I said, I haven't even beaten the game. So all the footage you'll see is from my actual playthrough. My first playthrough. The messenger ones is not from a playthrough, but rather just me screwing around. Because, again, I already beat the game. I do want to... I might stream on Twitch. Twitch.tv/NoCoDragon, but still. So, instead of going on another long tirade on what they do, since I basically already explained it. The portals are used to send the messenger 500 years back and forth through time into the second half of the game, and Seirai uses the portals for who knows why, but transportation and to use their attacks, one of which I love. I love the Venom Flurry. Jesus Christ, I need that. I also love Magic Mirror from Battle of the Star. Maybe that's related. So, let's get on to the Horizen theme. So, this is a subclass that uses the portals for movement or to transform themselves into techniques from ages ago, as I said, to reference the fact that we are not going from present to future, but rather present to the past. The past is all the messenger stuff, and all the present stuff is Sea of Stars, despite the fact that I know enough about the lore of Sea of Stars that it really should be the opposite. However, I just wanted to do something funny, and technically the ninja is from the past of 500 years, and the messenger was the first game. So yeah. And I divide it into one class does debilitating and support in terms of debilitation, and the second state is about movement and damage. So, first off, we have Horizen Shift. This is the main thing that makes everything work, which is once it's reaching 3rd level, you can only be in one of two states from now on. Past and present, and you can switch between the two as a bonus action. In the past state, whenever you hit someone with a weapon with the light property, you can choose to either lose fall speed for the rest of the turn. I don't know why I did that one. This is a reference to Cloud Step, by the way. Or move behind the target even if you don't have the movement speed for it. This is like I said, this is a reference to Cloud Step, the main mechanic of the messenger, where you hit someone and you jump and you gain a second jump as long as you keep hitting something. You can do very funny stuff with it, and there's even an achievement for doing this 15 times without touching the ground, and here's what it should be doing that, I guess. It's in the background just to proved the point. In present state, you gain a reach of 5 feet for all melee weapons that have the light property because of the portals you can create in present. I decided to do this because I don't want to do full-on portals yet, because this is only 3rd level. So this is more of a reference to the fact that your portals are small currently, so you can only like fit your hand and they can't go very far. So you just gain reach on all of your weapons. If you're using like a polearm, like a spear that already has the reach property, that reach is extended still. Just kidding. It has to have the light property. So yeah, daggers now have reach, which is very good. This is pretty good in my opinion. Next up, we have portaled control. I didn't want all of them to be named Horizen or Horizon, but the rest are after this, so I'm an idiot. When reaching 9th level, well, in the past state, you gain the ability to reduce a creature's next roll by half the damage you deal with a minimum of 1, as long as you use a weapon with the light property. As well, once you hit a creature, you can go to any unoccupied area within a 15-foot radius of yourself. This is once again a Cloud Step reference. This is the last time like Cloud Step is really used, because Cloud Step doesn't really get an upgrade, but I want to upgrade it because going behind an enemy, cool, who cares?
Hi, yes, post-editing, Noko. I forgot to mention that this is also a reference to one of the first abilities you can get in the Messenger, where you can just destroy projectiles with your sword and still get Cloud Step on them. Sorry, forgot to include that.
Choosing a spot within 15 feet, however, that's really good movement. And I want some movement, because I love movement. And because Cloud Step is a thing of the past. This is... I don't remember the power that this is from 4th edition. But yeah, it's a power from 4th edition. I don't fully remember which one. I'll have it on screen once I find it. It'll be fine. In the present state, you can finally make portals big enough to cross them yourself. As an action, you can create a portal that lets you move 25 feet in a direction. Once you use this ability in this way, you can't use it again for 1 minute. I meant to also write down the portal stays for 1 minute, but realistically, you yourself can probably homebrew it to be that, and I also will probably just change it to be that. And yeah, I honestly did. Next up, we have Horizen Poisoning. Starting at 3rd level, while in your past state, you gain the ability to, instead of dealing all damage on a sneak attack, you deal half the damage. But the target takes ongoing damage equal to 1d6 poison damage for the next minute. This is really debilitating, and I decided, and this was originally going to be the next hour, but this is for the next minute. This is the Crimson Edge power from 4th edition, which does 5 ongoing damage for however long it says. I don't fully remember. But I thought, ooh, bleed, that would be a fun status I could just do. Because a lot of rogues in media do bleed as like a status condition. And honestly, 5e doesn't really do bleeding well. Because that's not even a condition the rogue can give. So I'm not going to make a new condition just for this. The last time I made a condition, oh god, it was really debilitating and no one wants that. It was when I made my Zelda into D&D, which I have done, and I'm not going to release it to the public because I probably would get sued by Nintendo because that is not changed at all. That was like the first major homebrew thing I did. And for the present state, your portal's range increased by 10 feet. But after you travel into your portal, the next attack gains a new damage type of your choice between poison, force, and cold. Poison is because Cirai's portals, for some reason, give her poison magic. Don't know why, but like I love that about them. I love that about them. Force is because portals in D&D will typically deal force damage, and cold is because portals in D&D go to the astral plane, which is just space. I don't think anyone wants to go to space. And last but not least, we have the Horizen Master. Once reaching 7th level, well, in the past state, whenever you do a sneak attack, you force the creature to become vulnerable to all damage until the start of your next turn. If the target has any immunities, they're considered as resistances instead. Yeah, no, that is really debilitating. That is, Jesus. This is Bewitching Strike, I believe the power is called. Where I believe how vulnerability works in 4th edition is that it just extra damage. And this gives vulnerability 5. I'm assuming permanently, since it doesn't say a time. This is for until the start of your next turn. I think this is really stupidly debilitating. Because it turns mostly because of the immunities part, but yeah. The original version of this was all immunities become vulnerabilities until the start of your next turn, but that requires them to have immunities. So they're just going to be vulnerable to all damage sources until the start of your next turn, which, again, is really debilitating and can be used to set combos. Counterpoint, this is level 17. You are strong already. Most of your party members are going to be, like, God tier level, and with this, like, oh cool, you can do funny stuff. And for the present state, you can the control of your portals are great enough to store damage in them for a limited time. Once per long rest, you can use a reaction to summon in a portal to redirect an attack or spell to somewhere else within your range. That attack follows the other rules of the portal, aka mostly the Horizen poisoning, but like it lets you gain light property. If you can move it, you can do whatever you want with it. I think that's really cool. This is a really cool subclass, and this is a short video, but like I'm not doing more this time. Hell, the original version of this video was going to be just me explaining my thought process while building the subclass. If you want that type of video for the next subclass, I might even do it, because I'm working on like a class. I might do that for the class if y'all want me to. Either way, this is really cool. This is a really cool subclass, and I think this is somewhat balanced. To be fair, it's better than in some of the other rogue subclasses, but like there's also subclasses that the rogue has that are really stupid, like assassination's really cool, arcane trickster's really cool. This is just adding more flavor, and I think that's what matters. So anyways, I hope you all have an amazing time. Please, if you can, check out Sabotage Studios' work. I do kind of want to work for them, if that makes sense, because again, I want to make games. And they make good games. Check out both The Messenger and Sea of Stars. And I hope you all have an amazing night. So, good night, everyone.